Hello, and welcome to Daily English Whisper. My name is Max, and I'm really glad you are here with me today. Take a slow breath, relax your shoulders, and allow yourself to arrive in this moment. This is your calm space to practice English, step by step, without pressure. Today's episode is called Daily Conversation English, Dialogue Practice with Shadowing. And today we will do something very special. We will practice real conversations, not textbook conversations, not perfect dialogues, but simple, natural conversations, the kind people have every day. Many learners tell me something like this: Max, I understand English, but I don't know how to respond. Or, I know words, but I don't know how to use them in a conversation. Or even, when someone speaks to me, I freeze. If this feels familiar, you are not alone. Conversations can feel difficult because they move fast. There is no time to think too much, no time to build perfect sentences. And that creates pressure. But here is something important. You do not need perfect English to have a real conversation. You only need simple sentences used at the right moment. Another common myth is this: I need to study more before I can speak. But the truth is different. You learn to speak by practicing conversations, even small ones, even simple ones, even imperfect ones. So today, we will practice together. You will listen to short dialogues. You will repeat. You will follow the rhythm. And slowly, your brain will begin to understand how conversations flow. The key idea of today's episode is simple. Confidence in conversation comes from familiarity, not perfection. When you hear and repeat natural dialogues again and again, your brain starts recognizing patterns. You begin to feel, oh, I know this moment. Oh, I know what to say here. And that feeling changes everything. Because conversation stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like something you can do. So today, we will explore small daily conversations, real situations, unexpected moments, simple exchanges that happen in normal life. And you will practice them with your voice, not silently, but out loud. So wherever you are right now, let's begin this conversation practice together. Let me ask you something simple. When you hear a conversation in English, what do you usually do? Do you only listen? Do you try to understand every word? Or do you feel a little lost when people speak back and forth? Conversations can feel difficult because they are not like single sentences. They move, they change, they respond, and sometimes everything happens very quickly. That is why today we will use a powerful technique, shadowing with dialogues. Not only one sentence, but short conversations, back and forth, like real life. Shadowing a dialogue means you do something slightly different. You do not only repeat one sentence, you become both speakers. You listen and then you repeat each line. You follow the rhythm of the exchange. And this trains something very important: reaction. Because in real conversations, you do not have much time to think. You need to respond naturally. So today, we will practice that feeling, step by step, calmly, without pressure. Let me show you how this works. I will say a short dialogue, then we will repeat it together. You will speak both parts. Ready? Let's begin. Listen first. Hey, are you using this chair? No, I just moved it. You can take it. Now let's repeat. Say the first line. Hey, are you using this chair? Good. Now the second line. No, I just moved it. You can take it. Very nice. Now, again, a little more natural. Hey, are you using this chair? No, I just moved it. You can take it. Excellent. Now let's try another one. Listen carefully. Did you hear that noise just now? Yeah, it sounded like something fell. Now repeat the first line. Did you hear that noise just now? Good. Now the second. Yeah, it sounded like something fell. Very good. Again, with a little more flow. Did you hear that noise just now? Yeah, it sounded like something fell. Excellent. You see what is happening? You are not only repeating words, you are practicing interaction. You are training your brain to move from one idea to another, from question to answer, from curiosity to reaction. And something important, you do not need to understand every word perfectly. Your brain is learning patterns, the rhythm of conversation, the way people respond, the way sentences connect. Let's try one more. Listen first. I thought you left already. I was about to, but I forgot something. Now repeat. I thought you left already. Good. I was about to, but I forgot something. Very nice. Now again, smoothly. I thought you left already. I was about to, but I forgot something. Excellent. This is how you train conversation. Not by waiting, not by thinking too much, but by following the flow, by repeating, by becoming part of the dialogue. So do not worry if it feels a little fast sometimes. Do not worry if you miss a word. Just stay with the rhythm. Stay with the sound. Because every time you do this, your brain becomes more comfortable with real conversation. And now, let's move to something very important. A question many learners ask themselves. How can I practice conversations every day, even if I don't have someone to talk to? Maybe you feel something like this. I understand, but I have no one to practice with. Or, I don't know any English speakers. Or even, I feel ready, but I don't have a real conversation. These thoughts are very common. But here is something important. You do not need a real person to start practicing real conversations. You can build conversation skills by yourself, step by step, in a safe way, without pressure, because conversation is not only about another person, it is about patterns. It is about knowing how a moment feels. What people usually say, how responses work, and this is exactly what we are training today, through dialogues, through repetition, through small exchanges. Think about this. When you hear a situation many times, your brain starts recognizing it. For example, if someone asks, "Are you still working on that?" After hearing this many times, your brain already knows possible answers. You don't freeze. You feel familiar with the moment. So today, we will build that familiarity. We will practice several simple conversation situations. Situations that happen in real life, sometimes a little unexpected, sometimes very normal, but always useful. And you will repeat them out loud with your voice. Before we continue, let me tell you something small. If you are enjoying this practice and it is helping you feel more comfortable with English conversations, you can support the channel by liking the video. This helps more learners discover daily English Whisper and practice with us. And if you stay with me, you will start feeling more natural in conversations, step by step. Now, let's begin with the first real conversation situation. A simple moment, but one that happens more often than you think, and once you know it, you will recognize it everywhere. Let's begin with the first real conversation situation. This one is simple, natural, and very useful. A conversation that begins with a small problem. Many daily conversations do not begin with big topics. They begin because something small happens. Something is missing. Something is in the way. Something is unclear. And one person says something. This is important because real conversation often starts with a situation, not with a plan. So when you practice these small moments, you prepare for real life. Let's imagine a scene. You are in a shared space, maybe a studio, maybe a waiting room, maybe a small creative workshop. There is a portable fan on a table, and someone looks at it and asks, "Is this fan working or is it just making noise?" This is not the most common textbook sentence, but it feels real. It feels alive. Now listen carefully to the dialogue. Is this fan working or is it just making noise? I think it works, but only if you tap the side gently. Now let's repeat it together. Say the first line. Is this fan working or is it just making noise? Good. Now the second line. I think it works, but only if you tap the side gently. Very nice. Again, a little more naturally. Is this fan working or is it just making noise? I think it works, but only if you tap the side gently. Excellent. Now let's look at why this dialogue is useful. The first person is asking about a small problem. The second person gives a simple answer and a small explanation. That pattern is everywhere in conversation. Question, answer, extra detail. Let's try another example. Imagine you are near a shelf with labeled boxes. One box is open, and someone says, "Were these papers supposed to be in this box?" The other person answers, "No, that box is for cables. The papers should go in the drawer below." Listen first. Were these papers supposed to be in this box? No, that box is for cables. The papers should go in the drawer below. Now repeat the first line. Were these papers supposed to be in this box? Good. Now the second line. No, that box is for cables. The papers should go in the drawer below. Very good. Now again with smoother rhythm. Were these papers supposed to be in this box? No, that box is for cables. The papers should go in the drawer below. Excellent. Now let's try a third one. This time, imagine someone is trying to open a folding table. It stops in the middle, and one person says, "Does this table lock? Or do I need to hold it?" The other person replies, "It locks, but one side gets stuck sometimes." Listen carefully. Does this table lock? Or do I need to hold it? It locks, but one side gets stuck sometimes. Now repeat. Does this table lock? Or do I need to hold it? Good. It locks, but one side gets stuck sometimes. Very nice. Now again, like a real exchange. Does this table lock? Or do I need to hold it? It locks, but one side gets stuck sometimes. Excellent. These dialogues are useful because they train something very real. They train your ability to react to small situations, not formal situations, not dramatic situations, just ordinary moments with a little movement inside them. A small confusion, a small question, a small solution. This is what daily conversation often feels like. Now let's do a short shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. Small problems can create real conversations. Now, repeat slowly. Small problems can create real conversations. Very good. Now this one, I can practice simple responses every day. Repeat after me. I can practice simple responses every day. Excellent. Something important is happening here. You are learning how conversation moves. A person notices something. A person asks something. A person answers. And then the moment continues. This is very different from memorizing single sentences with no context. Here, the language has a reason, a purpose, a real situation behind it, and that makes it easier to remember. So when you go through your own day, start noticing these little moments. A loose handle, a dim light, a drawer that does not close well, a screen that looks too dark. Each little problem can become a speaking moment. Each one can become a tiny dialogue, and that means conversation practice is closer than you think. You do not need a perfect setting. You only need small, real situations. And when you begin to hear these patterns again and again, conversations stop feeling random. They begin to feel familiar. Even a few short dialogues like these can help a lot. You are learning how real conversation begins. Let's continue with another very real type of conversation. This one is different. It is not about a problem. It is about unexpected noticing. These are the small moments when someone observes something and says it out loud. These moments happen everywhere, and they often start conversations naturally. Let's imagine a situation. You are in a quiet place, maybe a small cafe, maybe a waiting area. There is a wall clock, but something feels strange. It is ticking, but not regularly. And someone says, "This clock sounds a little confused, doesn't it?" The other person smiles and answers, "Yeah, it's like it can't decide what time it is." Listen carefully. "This clock sounds a little confused, doesn't it?" "Yeah, it's like it can't decide what time it is." Now let's repeat. Say the first line. "This clock sounds a little confused, doesn't it?" Good. Now the second. "Yeah, it's like it can't decide what time it is." Very nice. Now, again, with more flow. "This clock sounds a little confused, doesn't it?" "Yeah, it's like it can't decide what time it is." Excellent. This type of dialogue is very important because it shows how people connect through small observations. Not important information, just shared noticing. Let's try another one. Imagine you are near a window. There is light coming through, but the glass has small marks. Someone looks and says, "The light looks softer through this glass." The other person answers, "It does. Almost like a filter." Listen carefully. "The light looks softer through this glass." It does. Almost like a filter. Now repeat. "The light looks softer through this glass." Good. It does. Almost like a filter. Very nice. Again, naturally. "The light looks softer through this glass." It does. Almost like a filter. Excellent. Now let's try a third one. Imagine you are in a place with a long table. There are small objects on it. One of them is slightly moving because of air. And someone says, "Why is that paper moving if the windows are closed?" The other person replies, "Maybe the air is coming from under the door." Listen first. Why is that paper moving if the windows are closed? Maybe the air is coming from under the door. Now repeat. Why is that paper moving if the windows are closed? Good. Maybe the air is coming from under the door. Very good. Now again with rhythm. Why is that paper moving if the windows are closed? Maybe the air is coming from under the door. Excellent. These dialogues are special because they are not planned. They happen in the moment. And that is how many real conversations begin. Someone notices something. They say it. Another person reacts. And suddenly, a conversation exists. Let's do a short shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. I can start conversations by noticing small things. Now, repeat. I can start conversations by noticing small things. Very good. Now this one. Simple observations can create connection. Repeat after me. Simple observations can create connection. Excellent. This idea is very powerful. Because many learners think they need something important to say, a big idea, a perfect sentence. But often, conversation begins with something small, something simple, something real, a sound, a light, a movement, a small detail. And when you learn to notice these things, you always have something to say. So during your day, try to observe. Look at small details. Listen to small sounds. Notice small changes. And ask yourself, how would I say this in English? Even one sentence is enough, because every observation is a door, and every door can become a conversation. You are not only learning words, you are learning how conversations begin. And that is a powerful skill. Let's continue with another very real type of conversation. This one is extremely important because it happens all the time, and many learners are not ready for it. The third way is this: short reactions and quick responses. These are not long sentences, not full explanations, just small, fast reactions. In real conversations, people often respond quickly, sometimes with only a few words, and if you are not used to this, it can feel confusing. So today, we will practice these small reaction moments. Let's imagine a situation. You are walking with someone. Suddenly, something unexpected happens. A light turns off, or a sound appears, and one person says, "That was strange." The other person responds, "Yeah, I didn't expect that." Listen carefully. "That was strange." "Yeah, I didn't expect that." Now repeat. "That was strange." "Good." "Yeah, I didn't expect that." "Very nice." Now again, more naturally. "That was strange." "Yeah, I didn't expect that." Excellent. These short exchanges are very common. Let's try another one. Imagine someone is trying something new, maybe opening something in a different way, and it works. The person says, "That actually worked." The other person answers, "I wasn't sure it would." Listen first. "That actually worked." "I wasn't sure it would." Now repeat. "That actually worked." "Good." "I wasn't sure it would." Very good. Now again with flow. "That actually worked." "I wasn't sure it would." Excellent. Now let's try another. This time, something small goes wrong. Maybe something slips, or something does not work as planned, and someone says, "That didn't go as planned." The other person replies, "No, but we can fix it." Listen carefully. "That didn't go as planned." "No, but we can fix it." Now repeat. "That didn't go as planned." "Good." "No, but we can fix it." Very nice. Again, naturally. "That didn't go as planned." "No, but we can fix it." Excellent. These types of dialogues are powerful because they train your reaction speed. You are not building long sentences. You are responding quickly, naturally, like real conversation. Let's do a short shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. "I can respond quickly with simple sentences." Now repeat. "I can respond quickly with simple sentences." Very good. Now this one. Short responses are part of real conversations. Repeat after me. Short responses are part of real conversations. Excellent. Something important to understand here. You do not always need long answers. You do not always need complex sentences. Sometimes a simple response is perfect. And when you practice these small reactions, your confidence grows because you feel ready, ready for small moments, ready to respond, ready to stay in the conversation. Before we continue, I want to invite you to do something simple. You can leave a short comment under the video. Maybe something like, I practice small conversations, or I am learning to respond faster. This small action helps you stay connected to your learning, and it can also inspire other learners. And if you stay with me, we will explore one more powerful way to make conversations feel natural in your daily life. A way that uses small habits but creates real conversational confidence. For now, remember this: conversations are not always long. Sometimes they are just small reactions, and those small reactions make a big difference. Now let's move to the final main way to improve your conversation skills. This one is very powerful because it changes how you experience conversations. The idea is simple: create small conversation habits during your day. Not only when you meet someone, not only when you feel ready, but small moments where you practice the feeling of a conversation, even when you are alone, because conversation is not only about other people, it is about flow. It is about moving from one idea to another. So we can train that flow every day. Let's imagine a simple habit. During the day, you ask yourself a question in English. Then, you answer it. Like a mini conversation. For example, do I need anything before I leave? Now answer, maybe I should check my bag again. Listen carefully. Do I need anything before I leave? Maybe I should check my bag again. Now repeat both lines. Do I need anything before I leave? Good. Maybe I should check my bag again. Very nice. You just created a conversation with yourself. Now let's try another one. Imagine you are deciding something small. You can ask, should I stay here or move somewhere quieter? Now answer, I think I'll move. It's a bit noisy. Listen carefully. Should I stay here or move somewhere quieter? I think I'll move. It's a bit noisy. Now repeat, should I stay here or move somewhere quieter? Good. I think I'll move. It's a bit noisy. Excellent. These small self-conversations are very powerful because they train both sides of communication: question, answer, decision, reaction. Now let's try something slightly different. Imagine you remember something suddenly. You can say, wait, didn't I leave something behind? Then answer, oh, it's still on the table. Listen first. Wait, didn't I leave something behind? Oh, it's still on the table. Now repeat. Wait, didn't I leave something behind? Good. Oh, it's still on the table. Very good. Now again, more naturally. Wait, didn't I leave something behind? Oh, it's still on the table. Excellent. This is how real conversations feel. They are not always planned. Sometimes they begin with a thought, a question, a sudden idea, and then a response appears. Let's do a short shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. I can create conversations in small moments. Now repeat. I can create conversations in small moments. Very good. Now this one. I don't need a partner to practice speaking. Repeat after me. I don't need a partner to practice speaking. Excellent. These habits are powerful because they remove a big limitation. The idea that you need another person to practice. You don't. You can train your conversation skills every day. In small ways, in quiet moments, in simple situations, and over time, something important happens. Your brain becomes faster, more flexible, more comfortable with the flow of conversation. So when you finally speak with another person, it feels more natural, less stressful, more familiar. Because you have already practiced the rhythm, the feeling, the movement of conversation. So remember this final way. Create small conversations with yourself. Short ones, simple ones, real ones. Because every small exchange you create is training your brain for real conversations. And that is how confidence begins to grow, little by little, dialogue by dialogue. Let's go a little deeper into this idea of conversations. Because once you begin creating small dialogues in your day, you can expand them with very simple micro habits. Not big conversations, just small extensions, small changes, small variations. And these small changes make your English more flexible, more natural. Let's imagine a simple micro habit. You take one dialogue and you change one detail. For example, earlier we said, "Did you hear that noise just now?" "Yeah, it sounded like something fell." Now, let's change it slightly. "Did you hear that sound near the door?" "Yeah, it sounded like something dropped." Listen carefully. "Did you hear that sound near the door?" "Yeah, it sounded like something dropped." Now repeat. "Did you hear that sound near the door?" Good. "Yeah, it sounded like something dropped." Very nice. This small change is important because now your brain is not only repeating, it is adapting. And that is how real conversation works. Now, let's try another micro habit. You take a dialogue and you add one extra line. For example, "Are you still using this space?" "No, I just finished." "Oh, perfect. I'll use it for a minute." Listen carefully. "Are you still using this space?" "No, I just finished." "Oh, perfect. I'll use it for a minute." Now repeat. "Are you still using this space?" Good. "No, I just finished." Very nice. "Oh, perfect. I'll use it for a minute." Excellent. Now you are building longer exchanges, but still simple, still natural. Now another micro habit. You change the emotion of a dialogue. Let's take a simple one. "That actually worked." You can say it in different ways. Surprised. "That actually worked?" Relieved. "That actually worked." Excited. "That actually worked." Now repeat after me. "That actually worked?" Good. "That actually worked." Very nice. "That actually worked." Excellent. This helps your speaking sound more alive. Because conversation is not only words. It is also feeling, tone, energy. Now let's try another micro habit. You take one line and you answer it in a different way. For example, "Did you leave this here?" Answer 1. "Yes. I'll move it in a second." Answer 2. "Oh, I forgot about that." Answer 3. "No, I think someone else did." Listen carefully. "Did you leave this here?" "Yes. I'll move it in a second." "Oh, I forgot about that." "No, I think someone else did." Now repeat one of the answers. "Yes. I'll move it in a second." Good. Now another. "Oh, I forgot about that." Very nice. Now the last one. "No, I think someone else did." Excellent. Now you are training flexibility. Not just one answer, but many possibilities. Let's do one more shadowing moment together. Listen carefully. I can change small parts of a conversation. Now repeat. I can change small parts of a conversation. Very good. Now this one. Simple changes make my speaking more flexible. Repeat after me. Simple changes make my speaking more flexible. Excellent. Now take a moment to notice something. You are no longer only repeating, you are playing with the language, changing it, moving it, adapting it. And this is where real speaking begins. Because in real life, no conversation is exactly the same, but the patterns are similar. And when you practice these small changes, you become ready. Ready for different situations, ready for different responses, ready for real conversation. And the best part is this: you are doing it in small steps, without pressure, without stress. Just small, natural practice. And over time, these small variations build something strong: confidence, fluency, and the ability to respond in the moment, not perfectly, but naturally, and that is exactly what you need. Before we finish today's episode, let's take a calm moment to reflect on what we practiced together. Today, in this daily conversation English practice, you explored something very important. Not grammar, not long sentences, but real conversation flow. You practice small dialogues, simple exchanges, natural reactions, and something powerful happened. You started feeling how conversations move, not perfectly, but naturally. We explored conversations that begin with small problems, conversations that start with simple observations, short reactions that happen in real time, and small self-conversations that help you train the rhythm of speaking. Then, we went even deeper. You learned how to change small parts of a dialogue, how to add one more line, how to respond in different ways. And this is the key, because real conversations are not memorized. They are flexible, they move, they change. And now, you are learning to move with them. So here is your simple sentence for today. Your secret sentence. Listen carefully. I can follow the flow of a conversation. Now repeat slowly. I can follow the flow of a conversation. Very good. One more time. I can follow the flow of a conversation. Excellent. Keep this sentence with you, because many learners think, I need to say everything perfectly. But real conversation is not about perfection. It is about flow, about staying in the moment, about responding, even in a simple way. You can also start replacing small moments in your day with mini conversations in English. For example, when you notice something, you can say it out loud. That looks different today. When something surprises you, you can react. I didn't expect that. When you make a small decision, you can speak it. I think I'll try this. When something goes wrong, you can respond. That's okay, I can fix it. These small moments create something very powerful. They make English part of your daily thinking, part of your reactions, part of your voice. And when that happens, conversations begin to feel easier, more natural, more possible. Maybe right now, real conversations still feel fast. Maybe you feel a little unsure. Maybe you feel like you need more time. That is okay, because what you are building now is not speed. You are building familiarity, and familiarity grows with repetition, with practice, with small, real moments. So do not rush. Do not judge your progress too quickly. Every dialogue you repeat, every small response you say, every moment you stay in English, you are improving quietly, step by step, line by line. Thank you for practicing with me today here on Daily English Whisper. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe and continue learning with me. We will keep building your listening, your speaking, and your confidence, one calm step at a time. And before you go, I want to ask you something simple. What kind of conversation do you want to practice next? You can write it in the comments. I would love to see it. This is Max. And I want you to remember something. You don't need perfect English to have a real conversation. You only need to stay present and respond. I'm proud of you for practicing today. Keep going, keep shadowing, keep speaking, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.